What's happening, everyone? Kenny back again within the pocket, and today I've got an unboxing and first impressions for you. It has been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm pretty excited to bring this to you today. And let's just get right into it. And I'm going to go ahead and open this box with, this is an anthem, and this is actually a relatively familiar anthem because this is Elliot over at Sharp Thinking's anthem, but it looks a little different, and that's because it has a case that's cased with a K, knives from Switzerland. Roman went ahead and rebladed this for him, so that will be coming soon. I'll be doing a quick review on that to let you guys know where it's at. But yeah, that's Vaincron steel, Vaincron Super Clean. So let's go ahead and get this box open and get into the meat of what this is about. I did purchase this knife from Knives Ship Free out of Tennessee, and that's a relatively small retail shop from my understanding. Let's go ahead and get in this box, and as you guys can see, this is a Benchmade, and if you saw the thumbnail, you'll know that this is a Mini Adamas, and I have yet to get my hands on even a regular Adamas, so this is my first experience with an Adamas in general, much less a Mini. These are made by a maker, Seth Siebert, I believe is his name. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. I don't know where he's from originally. I didn't do too much research on the maker, although I usually do a little bit. I didn't really get into this one, but he seems to be more of a, from my understanding, more of a tactical style, at least from the Adamas, you would assume. So they started making these with CPM Cruwear in the last few years. I must have missed it because I think originally they were made with D2 steel and not something I was really interested in. There's the regular Benchmade stuff. And if you do get a black box, that does imply that it's tactical. So this is their tactical line. The blue box is like their, that's like their working man's blue collar type of thing. So with the Benchmade bag, which is always nice, you can use it for other knives or this one. Let's go ahead and take a look, guys. This is my first look, was with you guys. So this is the Sprint Run. Oh, I don't know if you'd call it a Sprint Run. It's the special edition for the SHOT Show. And these were carried at a lot of different retailers, I believe. I got this one from Knife Ship Free. I didn't even know they came out. So first things first, looking at this is a Micarta scale on top of, I'm not sure if those are titanium or steel, to be honest with you. I'll go ahead and put that right here to let you know what that is. I could get a magnet, but I'm not going to waste your guys' time going to get a magnet to check it. But yeah, it seems to be really nice. Everything looks like it's really well done. A little bit of like, just a little bit of gaps there between the scales and the liners, which is normal, at least for a knife. These were going for $225. I got this one for $250 through Knife Ship Free, but I'm willing to pay a little bit more if it's a small retail shop and support more of like a family-owned place. Although I'm sure like Blade HQ and Knife Center probably started as family-owned, but they've just gotten to be so big. Yeah, looks great. Everything looks really good. Let's look at the centering. Nice and centered. Let me look off camera. Yeah, it looks pretty much perfect. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that necessarily. Really centered. This does have a thicker blade stock than some of your other Benchmades, but again, this is technically a tactical. Let's see how it fires. Oh yeah, nice. With the axis lock, you don't necessarily have a detent, so it's more like where the edge of the flat finally releases the lock bar is the axis lock bar is where you get your detent from. So there is a little bit of stick, a little bit of stick on the axis lock. You can always fix that with some some graphite on the back if it bothers you. And it usually goes away after a while. You guys can see, wow, look how smooth that is. Yeah, that is a smooth axis lock. Wow, yeah, nice. Very nice. Behind the camera, it's a little harder, but that will go straight back in. Yeah, really nice action. So let's see what the lockup's like. There is a little bit of play. I could probably tighten that up a little, and it might not fall as free as it is. It's definitely just a slight bit of movement there. And then let's check the up and down. Maybe a little bit, but that's how axis locks kind of work. They do kind of work themselves deeper as you pull and push. So if you're pushing down through material, it's only going to work its way over as the omega springs push that bar as it goes back. You know what I mean? So it would be nearly impossible for that to fail on you. I mean, anything's possible, right? That is a really good looking knife, guys. I was never really drawn to the Adamas originally, but and from what I understood, it was just a giant knife, so I never really got drawn to it. But this mini is definitely right in my wheelhouse. I could use a longer blade, but I like that handle size. Fits my large hands really well. I generally wear large gloves, so I don't have I don't have huge hands or anything, but they are a little bigger, and generally about 3 3/4 to 4 inches wide is the width of my hand, and it fills the hand really nicely. It's nice and thick on the handle. It seems like the clip's a little off the handle. That bugs me just a little bit, but I can easily fix that by flipping the clip and flexing it a little bit. I really like the way it feels in my hand, and this jimping is knocked down, so it's not super aggressive. It's actually really nice and subtle. Even though it looks kind of gnarly, it is very subtle in hand. I actually really appreciate that. And I like how my finger sits in that, like, nestled right there. That's really nice. If you were pushing back here to do more of a stabbing motion, I would rarely find myself back here, but right here it feels amazing. So that's nice. It really feels good in just about every grip as far as I can see. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I mean, it's a tactical knife, so I would expect it to really feel good right there. Yeah, really, really smooth though. I'm pretty happy with that. The edge feels, I mean, it feels like a factory edge, guys. I mean, what are you expecting, you know? And it's Benchmade, not always the best factory edges from Benchmade, in my experience. It feels relatively thick behind the edge as well. From what I saw, it seemed like they vary quite a bit. So it feels a little thinner, definitely a lot thinner back here than up here. I can even feel where it gets a little thick right there on the primary. So I'm assuming it's going to be relatively thick right there in the middle and near the tip, because it's got a really thick tip. I can always fix that, as you guys well know. I can always fix how thick that grind is. And yeah, really nice, nice shape to the blade. I like the drop point with that, you know, swedge. There's the maker or designer's maker's mark there. And Cruwear. Yeah, I'm really excited about that being in Cruwear. I've obviously never tried Benchmade's Cruwear, and they say that they're running it between 63 and 65 HRC, which is really, really good range for Cruwear. I mean, targeting 64 essentially, but I'm really excited to try this, you know, Benchmade's version of Cruwear at that high HRC. It's really, really good to see they're at least pushing that to where it likes to be. And I mean, we're talking a production batch, of course, so it's not going to be optimal heat treat. What you would get with something like a custom heat treat or even a small batch heat treat. I don't know how many of these they made, and if it's, you know, it even says limited edition, so I don't know how many of these were made at a time, but yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't too small of a batch. I'm not sure how many of these they had. So as you guys can see, it's a relatively large knife, but I would say it's really right there in that EDC range, what I would think is like perfect EDC size, in my opinion. So I'm going to bring a few other knives on here to just show you real quick, just to get you an idea of how big it is. This is obviously a Manix 2. And then let's go ahead and bring in a full-size Griptilian. You guys will see that the Adamas is a smaller knife than the full-size grip. I know I brought in Spyderco and Benchmade. I usually bring in one company at a time, but I'll go ahead and bring in this is a full-size bug out. Bring that in underneath as the Benchmade, and then we'll bring in a Para 3 on top for the Spyderco. And you can see this is a really nice size. It was right in between like a full-size Griptilian and a bug out, or in between a Para 3 and a Manix. So it's a really nice size. I guess the Manix is right about the same size, maybe a little bigger. Yeah, like a 1/4 inch bigger overall. But as far as cutting surface, it's got a nice cutting edge with a lot of belly, as you can see there. Not that like leaf shape, like Spydercos tend to have just like one swooping belly, whereas this has more of your flat into a nice swoop, nice belly into a relatively blunt tip. I'm sure that's gonna thicken up a lot as I put a 15-degree edge on it. Benchmade generally puts about a between 17 and 20-degree edge on their knives, depending on the knife I've found in my experience. So really excited to try this Cruwear from Benchmade. Really excited that they brought it up into a higher HRC. We'll see how that, how that correlates to performance and how it sharpens. We'll see how it's done at that high HRC. And maybe if I can find someone with I mean, Kurt's not around necessarily anymore, but if I can find someone with a Wilson or something that can test the HRC, we'll go ahead and do that, but I'm not sure. And it does have a pretty thick Cerakote on these blades. I believe it's Cerakote is what Benchmade's using on these. It does feel like a Cerakote. And I'm not a fan of most of Benchmade's, any of their coatings, honestly. Although Cerakote's probably going to be a little better than just that other black coating they used, but eventually I'll probably end up removing the coating and doing a regrind or something, if I decide to keep it, that is. I really do like it, though. I really enjoy the look of it. I like the red micarta. It's got that really deep, almost like burgundy color. The color's pretty true to what I'm seeing in real life. Really, really excited about that color. I like the black on, that dark burgundy or maroon, whatever you want to call that. But yeah, really, really nice. Really enjoying the feel of the handle. I probably could switch this out for an arrow clip. I like the Benchmade arrow clip better. The deep carry tends to just it's higher, so it tends to feel like it moves under your hand sometimes, and it's just a little bit more dealing with back here. So I might switch that clip out for one of their other clips, but otherwise I really like the way that feels in my hand. Really excited about that. And I'm really excited about this knife in general. I haven't bought a new Benchmade in a long time, so this is the first Benchmade I've bought, probably since when I replaced my bug out with this bug out and got G10 scales for it. But that was probably the last one I got. I don't even remember. So yeah, ever since the bailout situation, I was really kind of turned off from Benchmade. But this is nice. Seems like they're changing their stance a little bit on their HRC and the whole battle we went through. So really excited to see that. Really excited to try this knife out. Let's go ahead and just check the edge really quick right before I let you go. All right, let's check this edge. I know that, I can feel it's gonna bite, but yeah, see, it's not even really, it's sharp. Don't get me wrong. Nice and sharp. Yeah. I guess once you sharpen your own knives, you kind of become an edge snob a little bit. Because I'm sure it'll even shave. I can feel that factory edge. I can feel that it's been burnt. Yeah, it's shaving sharp. Yeah, you see there. But I know it's shaving sharp, but I can feel that that's gonna go dull quick. I can tell. It's been rolled over probably with some kind of belt and probably burnt as well. So I'm looking forward to putting some edges on this and seeing what this Cruwear will do. So yeah, thanks for coming along with me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, brought you some value. Hopefully some of you guys out there got some of these. I think it's a really good looking knife. I think it's really well done, you know, the way they did it. I like the color scheme. I like the, I do like pretty much everything about it, honestly. I could go with a different clip, but I see where they were going. I see why they went with deep carry. A lot of guys prefer the deep carry clip, especially where it's placed. You know, you're going to have this much sticking out if you go without the deep carry. So I get why they did it, but we'll see where I go with that. Yeah, not sure yet. But otherwise, I really, really dig it. And I'm excited to carry it. I'm excited to, you know, to give it a really good go and see what it can do. See what that CPM's doing. See what that Cruwear is doing, because over D2, that's a huge upgrade. And I guess I was on all their Mini Adamases now. I thought I was getting like I thought the Sprint Run was the only one with the Cruwear at first, and then I quickly realized that it wasn't. So, but super excited to try it out and really glad I grabbed it, honestly. So, hope you guys enjoyed this again, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.